Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you could tell by the title of the video, today I'm reviewing Melt Cosmetics' new release, the Electrip. Is it like a collection? Yeah, it would be a collection. The Electrip collection. I only picked up the eyeshadow palette. I'm not cool when it comes to my lip products. I don't wear cool shades. I'm not cool like that. So I decided to skip on the lippies and just pick up the palette, review it, maybe create 2 eye looks for you. Color Story is definitely something that's not for everybody. I almost didn't pick it up, but there's just something about Melt Cosmetics. I enjoy Melt Cosmetics and I wanted to review this palette. I wanted to see what the formula is like and if it's any good. In case you are interested, every year they do this, they release a collection to celebrate 420. I personally don't celebrate it, but every year they do a launch and I know that a lot of people really do enjoy it and love this launch and probably wait for it. So I'm here to review this palette for you and let you know if it's any good or not. Okay, my lovelies, let's talk a tiny bit about this palette and then we'll get started with the eye looks. So the Electrip eyeshadow palette retails for $58. I purchased it from Melt Cosmetics. They were having a sale, a 30% off sale, and you could actually use it for the new launch, which is awesome. Okay, so about the palette, this 420, we take you on a trip. Welcome to our bright, lucid dream. Immerse yourself in the psychedelic colors of the new Electrip palette, creamy chromes and true vivid mattes. Let it show you what's hidden in your mind. It has a 13th, 15th. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to read this. Where was this made? And this palette was made in the USA. Here is what the unicorn looks like. And here is what the palette itself looks like. Yeah, 12 months is the shelf life. That's not long at all. Okay, and here is the palette. So this is definitely a colorful palette, but I do enjoy the fact that they went cool tones on this end, warm tones on this end, and then right of the middle they have these like neutral tones. That's pretty awesome. So it looks like there is 4 different mattes and the rest are shimmers. I'm actually excited to dig into this palette. I'm not a huge colorful fan. I don't gravitate towards color too much these days, but I do enjoy a beautiful, colorful eye look from time to time, especially creating them. I did pick up a second palette. This is ready to be shipped out. I already checked it, nothing is broken. So make sure to stay tuned for the end of the video to see how you can win that eyeshadow palette. Okay, let's get started with the eye looks. All right, you all know that my favorite color is red. I don't wear it often, especially not on my eyes, but I think today we're going to jump into the red. And that is called Strawberry Fields. I'm going to jump into this Natasha Denona little mini brush. It came with, gosh, one of the 5-pan mini palettes. I honestly don't remember. Okay, and then the reason I'm using this brush is because it's flat. All right, let's see how pigmented this shade is. Now, here, let me just start. Ooh, okay, that's not dark enough. It's a true red, and I have my NARS eye base on, and I'm stamping the shade first because it's a, you know, colorful shade, and if you blend, it's going to fade away. That's just the nature of colorful shadows. Okay, but so far, okay, it's a nice red. I like it. I think I'm going to put a tiny bit less over here Lower lash line just on the outer corner. Okay, that's what it's looking like. Now I'm going to jump into the salmon pink. Bang, but B-H-A-N-G. This is a Sonia G crease brush, and I'm just dipping the tip, that's what she said, into it. And I'm going to use this to blend out the edges. I'm going to be very careful. And if we lose some of that red, it's okay. We'll go back with more and build it up again. I'm going to put this salmon-y shade on the lower lash line. This is a pretty bright red. It's nice. Okay, and for this one, be very careful. You don't want to get too into like red in here because then you're gonna look sick, you know? So blend softly, carefully, and if like a brush like this is too big, just go into a smaller brush like this. Okay, how beautiful is that blend? These are blending very nicely. Okay, I did go into my NYX glitter glue, and I'm using this lip brush from Sigma, the E56. It's like very small and like pointy. I want to be precise. I'm going to jump into this right here, which is like a light salmon, almost pastel shade. Saturn is the name. It's a glittery shade, so I'm using the brush, but at the side that I laid it down the glitter glue with, because I really want to be precise. If I need to use my finger, I'll use it here once I'm done laying down the product. But for this part, I'm using the brush. Okay, this is what we're looking like. I feel like this shimmer shade I use is pretty light. I guess it is. Okay, and I think I want to put a tiny bit of this shimmer orange head trip. Just a tiny bit. Maybe I should. I'm gonna use my index finger. Hopefully no fallout. Well, this is more of a metallic, but here, let's try. And like just right here in the middle. Like that. Yeah, this one's more of a metallic than an actual glitter. That first one, is it Bang? No, that first one, Saturn, that one is a shimmer. Okay, this is what we are looking like. Now I'm going to jump into Magic Mush, which is a very pretty green shade. I'm going to jump into that Sigma lip brush, E56, because I want to be very precise and use that in the inner corner. Green is a complementary color to red, so this should make this whole eye look just pop. Okay, and here is eye look number 1, all nice and done. I don't wear red often. I do love it when I do. I think it looks so pretty. This is definitely not a look that I would wear often. It would have to be a very special occasion that calls for this kind of eye look. I feel like festival season is here. Coachella's coming up, Free Press in Houston, ACL, Austin City Limits in Austin, Texas. There's another one in Tennessee. What is it called? I just feel like this is a palette that somebody who goes and attends festivals often would be perfect for occasions like that. But yeah, here is eye look number 1 with the Melt Cosmetics palette. This is definitely not for everybody. If you don't enjoy color, if color scares you, this is not a palette for you. So I think I'm only going to create one more eye look. I do have to film the second eye look on a different day. By the way, I haven't swatched this palette. I normally don't swatch until after I'm done with the eye looks. So yeah, every shade that I jump into, it's a surprise. Okay, so one more eye look, and then I think what I'll do is a quickie eye look with this palette, and then that way there'll be 3 videos up. Hopefully this video goes up on Wednesday. I'm filming on a Saturday, the day before Easter. And then hopefully, if not by that Friday, the Monday after, I'll do a quickie eye look with this palette. But so far, everything worked beautifully. The shimmers are definitely a little bit different than their normal shimmers, which is nice. Okay, so I'll go ahead and hand you guys over to eye look number 2. For me, that will be another day, but okay. Let me hand you over. Okay, my lovelies, let's start with this second eye look. And I think I'm going to jump in to the darkest shade in the palette, Reefer. I'm going to use the same Natasha Denona brush that I used for eye look number 1. It is clean. I cleaned it before starting this eye look. And this is going to go in the outer corner. My dumb butt burnt myself like right here, so hopefully that doesn't affect this eye look, because I literally, it's covered with makeup now, but it literally happened right here, and right after it happened I was like, gosh darn it, I have to film another eye look, and I got some more palettes coming, so hopefully my eye is okay and doesn't scab up too bad. I am going to bring it down on the lower lash line. I am tapping first just so I can get more pigment down before I blend. Okay, that's what I got so far. Now I'm going to jump into this pretty teal shade right here. Pseudo, P-S-E-U-D-O. I want to say it's Pseudo. Okay, Sonia G crease brush. Again, I wiped this clean. Well, I cleaned these brushes before using them. I'm going to use this shade to blend out the edges of that brown. And I did use the NARS Eye Base. I think I forgot to mention that. Bring a tiny bit right in here and work slowly and build up little by little. Don't start with too much pigment right off the bat. Okay, this is what it's looking like. I'm not going to lie, this teal blue is not blending as smoothly, as seamlessly as the red in this palette. If I remember correctly, I think blue shades are also hard to develop, just like purple shades, if I remember correctly. Okay, now we're going to jump into the pretty neutral shimmer in here, Far Out. And it's gonna go right in the middle. I did put down NYX glitter glue. You already know if you've been here for a while. And it's gonna go right there in the middle next to the dark brown. Beautiful shade. This shimmer is so pretty. So pretty. Okay, now with my index, I'm going to jump into Magic Mush, which is that pretty green. And I definitely do feel like these shimmers are different than what we're used to from Melt Cosmetics. I feel like they've definitely amped up their game when it comes to just giving them that extra punch that they have been needing to add to their shimmers. So if that's one of the reasons why you've kind of held off on buying Melt Cosmetics, just because the shimmers out there are out of this world, you know, the formulas have evolved so much that Melt sticking to the old school kind of, I feel, turned some people off. But this palette, they've definitely improved on that. Okay, and we're actually going to jump into one more shimmer, trying to use as many shades possible. So we're going to do the very light blue. That's going to go right at the end, the inner corner, and a tiny bit on the lower lash line. Blue Heaven is the name of the shade. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I am going to use that lip brush from Sigma. What is it? The E56. I'm going to dip into the Blue Heaven shade. I did wet my brush with the MAC Fix Plus just so it could be a tiny bit more precise. Just like that. Okay, my lovelies, and here is the second eye look completed with the Electrip palette from Melt Cosmetics. I think this came out so beautiful. It's a little more blue than my personal liking, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. I did go into the Victoria Beckham liner in olive. For the lips, I have the Refi Beauty Lip Sculpt in Fawn. And then I went in with the Surratt lipstick slash balm in like the nudie natural shade. For the highlight, I went into this MAC Cosmetics. It's part of the Lunar collection. I used that as my highlight and my brow bone. And I went into this glowish blush in Caring Coral. Everything else, I will have it linked down below. I definitely feel like this palette here is for those who enjoy colorful eye looks. You might be able to get a very neutral look if you use this one, this one, this one. But other than that, every eye look you create with this palette is going to be pretty colorful. So if that is not your jam, probably stay away from this palette. I will say quality is great. I enjoyed it. The teal shade is the only one that I felt gave me a tiny bit more of a difficult time than all the other shades that I used in the palette. I think the only ones I didn't use are this one. Yeah, everything else I used. The only one I didn't use was this dark blue shimmery shade. Okay, well, let me go ahead and show you a couple of comparisons because I feel like we've seen these tones with Melt Cosmetics. I don't own all of the palettes, but I did pull out the ones that did give me a similar vibe to some of the tones in the Electrip palette. Okay, I will go ahead and insert swatches of the palette here. I am going to do a little bit of a comparison with 3 other palettes from Melt Cosmetics. Yeah, 3. I don't own every single palette from Melt Cosmetics. I only started dipping into the brand, I want to say probably 2 years ago. And these are just some of the palettes that I pulled out and found similar shades to what is in the Electrip palette. Okay, so the very first one is the Muerte palette. I don't have the Vida palette, and somebody did mention in one of Heather Austin's videos that the new Electrip reminds them of the Vida, but she did a comparison on her video and the Vida is more bright. This Electrip one is a little bit more on like the grungy, darker side, like a smoky kind of vibe. Okay, so here is the Muerte palette, and the only one that I can find similar is this one right here, and it's the shade that I haven't used. So let me go ahead and swatch it. This is Katrina from the Muerte palette, and then similar to this shade here. Yeah, because there is no other, not even the light blue shimmer. Okay, so this is Galactic Love from, and even the texture feels different than from the Muerte. So the shifts are similar, but not the same. This is from Muerte, this is from Electrip. Definitely texture-wise, the Electrip feels so much softer, so much like they definitely improved the formula. Okay, next one I pulled out is the Gemini 2, and the only shade that I could find in this one, which one was it? This shade right here, which reminds me a tiny bit of the only neutral shimmer shade in the Electrip. So Matched from Gemini 2, there it is, and Far Out from Electrip. Far Out feels much more soft, and it's definitely more bright. Just in the pan, they look like they might be similar. They're definitely not. Okay, and last but not least, the Gemini palette. And for this one, oh, the green one is the only one that looked similar to me, because this Gemini shade, it's not orange enough for the orange in this palette. So I think the green one is the only one that might have similar vibes. So let's swatch the green one from Gemini. Goals with a Z at the end. And this is that more chunky, metallic kind of shimmer. And in the Electrip, which is Magic Mush, definitely feels softer, and on the eyes it packs more of a punch than the Gemini, just the glitter sparkles. Or I don't have any repeat shades. I mean, these do look fairly similar, but I feel like it's okay that I purchased this Electrip palette. Okay, my lovelies, well, that's going to be it for this review of the new Melt Cosmetics Electrip palette. I enjoy Melt Cosmetics. They're definitely a favorite indie brand. I feel like they have an aesthetics and are sticking to it. They're not conforming to what is popular. They're not conforming to what is just, you know, flying off the shelves. They are a grungy, smoky, old school vibes, original. Well, I wouldn't say original, but they stick to their originality that they started when they first came out. They're sticking to that. And I feel like you either enjoy that or you don't. I do. It brings me nostalgic vibes. It reminds me of the good old days. So even though this palette is not my favorite color story, I enjoyed playing with it. I feel like the two eye looks are created are absolutely stunning. This formula is definitely the best that I have tried yet from Melt Cosmetics, and it makes me happy. Yeah, that's gonna be it. And now let's get into the details for the giveaway. So you can win the Electrip palette. Like I mentioned, I purchased two. Since I got 30% off, I told myself just get two of them and give one away to a lucky winner. Okay, my lovelies, now for the giveaway details. If you hear crying, you know, mama life. That's just how things go around here. Rule number one, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I will be checking. Rule number two, make sure that you like this video. Rule number three, unfortunately US only. It costs quite a bit to ship. And I feel like a broken record because I keep saying that. But yeah, I'm still not really making any money and all of this is coming out of my pocket. So US only, my apologies. Make sure you are 18 and over, and also go ahead and comment down below which eye look is your favorite. Look number one or this one. Look number two. And that is it. That's all you need to do to be entered into this giveaway. I hope whoever wins it loves the palette. I do feel like Melt Cosmetics did a good job on the formula, especially the shimmers. I definitely feel like they worked hard on improving the shimmers, because I feel like that's what a lot of people mostly complain about when it comes to Melt Cosmetic palettes, is that the shimmers are still like what we used to see back in 2016, and they have definitely improved with the formula. As you could see, like this eye look and those shimmers are stunning. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly means so much to me. And yeah, okay. Well, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Good luck to everyone who enters the giveaway, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!